Most people probably think they've missed it, that they're too late. The decks are already built. The meta, well, it's already solved. And that there's just no place for someone like you. Well, what if I told you this is the best time to get started? Welcome to Visage Roulette. Let's roll.
We have liftoff.
Let's talk about that feeling first, because I know you felt it. You discover a new game. You see players online who look like they've been doing this forever. There's tech terms and tech deck you don't understand. Terms you never heard of, people comparing cards, lingo you've never heard of. Sounds like a foreign language. Huh? And then there's this voice in your head that says, you're too late. That's not the reality. That's just the perception. And that's a huge difference. Every game feels impossible from the outside. You see the surface. The confident player, the polished content, the competitive tournament results. And your brain starts to fill in the gaps that you don't belong there. But here's something you're probably not seeing. Every single one of those players opened a card pack for the very first time. They read the rules just as confused as you are. And they've even lost their first game. And some of them multiple times before something finally clicked. And the only difference between them and us is reps. They started exactly where you are. Now let me give you some actual facts, because I'm not just trying to hype you up. I want you to see what's real. Wonders of the First just had its main core set come out called Existence. Now let me show you why this matters. The game is still very early. The meta is still forming, and the community, man, it is growing. And that means something very important. The people who will define this game haven't all started yet. And that includes you. You are not behind, and you are early enough to matter. And if you stick with me, I'm going to show you where to go to get that and how we're going to do it. Now, the game raised over $1.2 million, which is incredible when you think about it, off of a Kickstarter. It was designed by a guy named Brian Tinsman, who, if you want to do an interview, hit me up. Where probably a lot of the players who played Magic are probably dabbing their feet into Wonders of the First. Not only is it so impressive that Brian Tinsman worked on Magic the Gathering, he's also worked on projects like Pokemon. So that lets you know this is not a passion project. This is a game built by someone who knows exactly what they want in a game. And that mattered. And that's exactly why this card game, it will last. There are going to be competitive stops across Orlando, Houston, Cincinnati, where I'll be at in a couple of weeks. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be recording there because I'll be playing my very first tournament, which I will make a video showing how badly I lost, but I will show you a video of that, and we'll show you how to do tournament play. You are early enough that showing up now puts you ahead of the wave, not behind it. So what exactly is Wonders of the First? Well, let me break it down in plain terms. You play as a Stone Seeker. You're this powerful figure who summons these creatures called Wonders, and you command them to fight in these realms for stones. At the end of the 7 rounds, the one who has the most stones wins. Sounds simple. Well, because it kind of is. Simple goal, deep execution. That's the sweet spot. Now, one of the things that makes Wonders of the First so unique is that they have literally promised no reprint policy. So when a print window closes, done. And the first edition cards that exist right now will never be printed again. Yes, now there are going to be things called echoes and things like that. And we'll get into those later on when we actually get into more in-depth videos. Once they're printed, they don't exist anymore until the next set. And that means what you collect today has lasting value of what you continue to collect into the future. All right, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to jump on screen right now and take you to the places where you might find the game. I want you to see exactly what I see. Okay, so let's start at the source. What you see on screen is literally if you just type in www.wondersccg.com, and you're going to see the starter box. That is, if I were to click it right now, it takes you to Target. And oh, you're thinking $29.99? That's a great price. Well, unfortunately, it's been out of stock for quite a while. Now, what you can find at Target, I have seen the actual Play Booster boxes where you get 30 packs and 12 cards per pack. And I've actually bought a couple from Target where you can get them at Target for about $148. Now, I'm going to be honest with you here. You're probably not going to find something like this. Well, at least not cheap. And that's because they're sold out. And that's proof that this game has got some real demand behind. Now, you may have seen in the thumbnail that there was a giveaway. And because this is technically episode 1, I would love to do something for the community. When this channel hits 100 subscribers, 100 likes, and 100 comments, I'm going to be giving one of these away for free. And I'll be doing other giveaways too. So subscribe, comment, and like, and let's build this thing together. Okay, so when going back to the main page, you can order and collect the play bundle. This is a great entry point into Call of the Stones, which is the second set, not Existence. That was the first set. So here's the second set. You can get into Call of the Stones for just $38 with free shipping. It is the perfect way to get in there. Now, here's the thing. If you can afford it, and I would never advocate for spend and blow all your money, okay? But if you can afford it, it is well worth trying to get. For every 5 bundles, you get a free silver pack with an exclusive alt art. That is a huge deal, okay? So for every 5 bundles equals a free silver pack. And what are the silver packs? I'll get into those into the next video. Now, when you're ready to order, you're gonna get to this screen. Collect Play Pack Bundle. So what are you getting? You're getting 1 collector booster pack, 6 play booster packs. If you're able to order 5, you will get a silver art pack. And that is actually a really great example of what you'll get in them. What you're going to see on the shopping portion of this website is you're going to see the actual Call of Stones booster box. Now, the Call of Stones booster box is a pretty good value for what you're going to be getting. 1 celebrity Stone Seeker or an exclusive alt art. These are still available. If you were like, hey, you know what, Visage, I'd like to really kind of get into the first set. Are they still available at all? Yeah, unfortunately, they are sold out, guys. Sold out, and it's also sold out. And obviously, so is that sold out. Now, there are places you can go to get these things. One thing I really want to show you, and it's still a viable option, is actually looking for your LGS, your local gaming store. You'll go up here to the game, go down to store locator. Now, when I type in store locator, my zip code, and let's do 50 miles, okay? And what you'll see that will come up will be jerseys, cards, and comics, right? And then old school video games and more. Was the 2-player starter kit. About a month ago, they actually had this in stock, and for $24.99, they were not price gouging, and I was able to buy one of those. I was actually able to buy 2 of them. One I'm going to use to teach and do things with, and the second one I would like to give to somebody for a giveaway. And I was able to buy some more off Amazon, not at those prices. Speaking of Amazon, and if you go to Amazon, you can actually find them in stock on Amazon. Them actually adding the Play Booster Box is actually fairly new. They did not do that a while ago, so this is new. It says typically $172.50. They were actually selling for that price about, I want to say about a week ago. And now they're at $148, which is the exact price that Target sells them for. And they give a pretty good demonstration of everything that's inside the box. And you look at the price that you're going to see for the starter box, $69.99. So all you guys who are hoarding those starter boxes, good on you, because you've made some, you can make a profit now, I guess. And that's what you're going to see there. Another spot you can go to get them is eBay. Yeah, you can see my search history is I have been looking for a Roman Silver Shot. Let's do Wonders of the First 2-player starter set. You're going to, obviously, you're not going to see the prices that you saw them at your LGSs. And one of the really cool exclusive things that I want to show you, there are still some pre-sale bundles that are out there. Now, this one's a little bit more pricier, but here's what you're going to get with this one. And I think that if you can locate this, you're winning, okay? So here's the thing. So what do you get in a pre-sale bundle? Boom, there's the price, right? You're like, $189. You can literally get the same thing on Amazon for $148. But this is where you're getting the difference. You're getting 5 collector booster packs. That is a big difference. So you're going to get the 30 play packs, 5 collector packs, okay? And you're going to get the silver alt art pack. Okay. Now, I have not been able to find the collector packs, play packs anymore. I was able to pre-order a collector's, and I will be showing you the difference between a collector's box and a play box. So, fret not. One thing that is fantastic, and if you're able to do it, is getting in on the Discord and learning about all the pre-sales and all the little events that they will have. Follow on Facebook, follow on Instagram, because the more that you start to view that stuff, obviously target advertising will come your way. And that's how I was able to learn about a lot of this stuff, is through, honestly, as much as we hate it, is target advertising. But the Discord is going to be your friend. And primarily, had I had joined Discord a little bit sooner, I would have learned about what's called dragon packs, these serialized packs. And now I don't have a box, I've gotten packs. And you got the packs when you ordered some pre-bundles from the collector edition ones. So I will be opening up some dragon packs on a future date as well, to really show the difference between play, collector, and the dragon packs. Okay, and another site that you can go to is what's called Star City Games. Now, Star City Games, I was able to actually get my hands on some of the Existence play bundle packs. And the reason why this is a great deal is because unfortunately, you're going to see a lot of people on eBay and stuff like that that are going to price gouge these kind of packs, okay? However, Star City Games, they don't really do that. And what you're going to see here is they actually have some that are in stock here for $34.99. Now, if you're really wanting to get into the first set, which there are some phenomenal cards in the first set of Existence. Now, remember, those cards are only ever printed once, outside of there being echoes, which we'll get into those later on. But those are incredibly difficult to get. This is a great way to get into Existence, is get some play boosters at Star City Games. Now, one thing that you may notice is that the starter decks are also all sold out. And I was very fortunate to see somebody on eBay who was actually selling them for the price that they bought them at. And I was able to get every single starter deck. I won't go through all of them. And I haven't opened them. And I don't know if I will, because I'm at the point where now I would like to build my own decks. I'm going to tournaments where you'll do sealed, and we'll go through those later. But there's a guy out there, his name, I've mentioned him before, American Texan. He does a great intro video on what that looks like, and Be a Hero Gaming is also another really great asset to use, and obviously Capricorn, very well known around the community. You can look at their videos as well. Okay, and one thing that I get a little bit iffy about showing, because if you're kind of like me, where you have, I don't want to say a gambling problem, but if you're kind of like me, where you're like, nah, I'm not going to lose, like I'm going to keep betting. There is a site called Whatnot, if you're not familiar with it, and they actually do have Wonders of the First auctions here. One of my favorite Wonders of the First guys that I absolutely loved. It was actually one of the very first guys I ever bought from. Super nice to the game. I asked a lot of stupid questions when I first started bidding, because I didn't even know like what the cards were, and he never made me feel stupid for asking questions. And I'll actually plug him into this, and that's his card. And last one, and this one is completely free. Guys, join the Discord. I cannot stress how much the Discord has been such a great community. It is super helpful. There's tons of general, there's a general tab in here, gameplay discussions. What I would say about the Discord is there's lots of mentors in there that will have no problem helping you out and showing you how to play the game. And that's the landscape. You're going to see a lot of sold out at the source, but available if you know where to look. Let me save you some money and frustration, because almost all new players, they make these mistakes. And I'm going to give you the first one right now. Mistake number 1, buying too much too fast. You do not need 5 booster boxes in your first week of playing the game. Yes. You do not need to build the best deck day 1. 1 starter set, that's it. Try to master what's in front of you before you truly decide to expand. Mistake number 2, chasing the rare cards. Yeah, rare cards are powerful. That's why they literally have one called Rare, and then they've got Epic and Mythic after that. But a player who truly understands the game will always beat a player with expensive cards who doesn't understand the game. The fundamentals matter more than the collection further on. And mistake number 3, comparing yourself. You are going to see players online who appear to be miles ahead of you. Some of them have been playing since the days of the Kickstarter. Some of them even got to do beta testing. It's not your baseline. Your only comparison is yesterday's version of you. And mistake number 4, which is one that I suffered from, and it's why I feel like I'm going into Cincinnati unprepared. Waiting until you feel like you're ready. You will never feel like you're truly ready. Some say that's how you know that you actually care a lot about the game or whatever task that you're doing. But that's not how learning works. Play now, feel uncomfortable, and it's the reps that actually build skill. So again, don't buy everything at once. Don't chase the rare card. Don't compare yourself to others. And most importantly, don't wait until you feel ready, because you won't. So here is your action plan. 6 steps, 48 hours, let's roll. 1. Find your entry point. You can check eBay, you can check Amazon, you can check whatnot for a starter set. You could win one here. Or you can download Tabletop Simulator. Any of these work. Step 2, open it tonight. Don't wait. Step 3, if you're able to get your hands on a starter deck, look at the 2 decks. Read the quick reference card. If you're not, start opening packs and start looking at all the cards and getting familiar with them. As you're reading the cards, bring up the online rulebook and start reading what that card does. Step 4. Read every card that you look at. Learn it. And then you can literally kind of test yourself as you're seeing the next kind of skill on a card. You can be like, oh, that's what that one is. Step 5, join the Discord. Introduce yourself and ask questions. Step 6, play a game within 48 hours. By yourself if you have to. Set up both sides and just run through the game. That's a first rep. And that's it, 6 steps. You don't need a coach and you don't need the perfect knowledge. You just need reps. Now you could do these steps interchangeably, but just get after it. So this game has actually a lot more players than you probably think it does. And part of that game is there's play booster boxes, there's collector boxes, serialized boxes, and each of those scratch an itch for whether you're wanting to play, collect, or do both. And I'll be breaking those down in future episodes and even doing some pack openings on those. Here's what I leave you with. This isn't just about cards. It's the feeling of stepping into something new before you're ready. That discomfort you feel when you're about to start something. And that is not a warning sign. That is a signal. It means you're about to grow. The people who built something real in this game, they're not the ones who waited. They're the ones who showed up first, who learned in public, who made the mistakes, and they kept coming back. And a year from now, you won't care where you started. You'll care that you did. Next episode, we're going to go deeper. I'm going to show you exactly what to do with your first box from the moment you open it. How to look at the cards, how to prioritize them, and kind of how to build your first deck. Don't miss it. And drop a comment below. Have you ordered your box yet? And if you haven't, what's stopping you? I'm going to read every one of them. And until next time, let's roll.